This add-on that we are going to test is best for consolidating data which is collected from a very huge research. So let me just title my form research data. And my form will be made up of 3 sections. The first section so I'm collecting data on some participants in my research. So I'm going to take the participant ID. The idea here is that I'm collecting data on a huge number of people. I'm collecting background information from these people. I'm collecting their medical data. I'm also collecting lab data. And I'm not going to use one data collector. I'm probably using a social scientist who will be collecting the background information on the participant. I'm probably using some nurses or doctors who will be collecting medical data. And I'm probably using a lab. The lab will be collecting lab data. So the idea is that for this research data I'm collecting, the data will be collected from the study participants by different data collectors on different occasions. So I'm going to make it such that when the person collecting the background information selects which section they have to collect the information, we'll take them to that section. They collect the information with the study participant, and then they will move on to submit their data. So I have different sections set up. I have a background data section, I have a medical data section, and I have a lab data section. When the social scientist selects the background information section, it will take them to the background data section. And when they are done with this section, they will only take the name and the sex of the participant. When they are done, they will have to submit the form. When maybe the nurse or the medical doctor also collects their data relevant to their field, they also submit the form. And when the lab technician also collects his data, he will also submit the form. It is best practice to put a passkey on all your forms. Maybe you are going to embed your form onto a website that everyone may have access to, or people may see your form, or people have a link to your form. And so I'm going to use regular expressions to maybe come up with a passkey for my form. Let's say it's 124. Sorry, I need to select a regular expression. And only my data collectors will actually know this passkey. So even if my form is embedded on a website, no one can access the form. So this is how my form looks like if I have to fill it. Let's say my first study participant has an ID I've chosen for them, A01. And then my passkey that I said I've only communicated to my data collectors is say 124. Let's say it's a social scientist who is collecting the information on this person. So they select background information. It takes them to the background information link. They fill the name of the person. Let's say the person is called Jane Doe. And let's say the person is a female. They have done their section and then they submit the form. Let's say this time a different person is now coming to fill the form for the same participant A01, and their passkey, they know the passkey, which is 124, but this place is a nurse who is a different data collector. She selects the section she has to go to. She goes there, she's probably finding the blood sugar of the participant, maybe it's 10.0, and then they also submit. Let's say now it's a different person who also goes through. Let me just pause and fill some of these data so that it goes into the sheet, and then we see how our add-on will work on this. So I have populated my form. I've filled my form, which has populated my sheet. So this add-on is best suited when you are collecting research data and you have so many sections, and you have different people with different specializations, and you want them to fill only specific sections of the form. But you realize that when they fill the form and it comes into your spreadsheet, you see participants A01. Someone filled their background information as gender and a female. You see the same A01 again. Someone filling their medical data, collecting blood sugar, let's say is 10. And then a different person is collecting their lab data, the same A01, and maybe they recorded 9.8. So if you are collecting a large chunk of people and you have so many data collectors, you realize that the data for each participant is not consolidated into one row. So the aim of this add-on is to help you consolidate this data. And so when you install the add-on, you will see it as merge rows as part of your menu items. You select merge rows and you select merge rows with same ID. Saying that a script attached to this document needs your permission. So you choose your Google account. You go to advanced. So these are the scopes that it's going to get. It's going to see, edit, create and delete all your Google Sheet spreadsheets, and you say allow. I think it's done. So now when we say merge rows again, so what you have to do is to provide the column name that you want the merge to happen. So you see that we have participant ID, you have A01, 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 we have A02, A02, A02. We want to consolidate this data into one row. So it's the column name that you provide. So you just type participants, just as is the participant ID, and you select OK. So it's saying that the spreadsheet data will be overwritten. Are you sure you want to proceed? It's warning you, and you check yes. So you realize that the data will be, now we have A01 and all the data has been combined into one row. So that is how this add-on helps in consolidating research data collected by different data collectors on so many study participants.